Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa recently had an altercation at the UFC PI. Khamzat confronted Paulo after Paulo said that Khamzat was a fake gangster. Costa said via social media, Chimaev calls himself a real gangster, but Chimaev is not a real gangster. You know, Nate Diaz is a real gangster. Chimaev is not. Forget that guy. Here's the heated exchange at the UFC Performance Institute.
Did you say you want to out, yeah? What? Did you say you want to out?
You want me?
No, I said, do you said anything?
I want
out.
You want to me?
I want to out right now.
Okay.
Yes, come on,
Let's
come
go.
down.
Let me hear.
Come on. Nate, come on. Pussy, man. You're Brazilian pussy. Yeah.
Yaba.
What's up?
You are go man.
What's happened? What's happened? Hey, what's happened? What's happened Israel? What's happened with Israel?
Não, isso aqui você tava querendo.
What you ask, yeah?
What you
Yes, yeah?
Não era canção que você tava querendo.
Come on. I'm here. You said you were out. I'm here now. When I hear you pussy, yeah? You're pussy when I hear. Come on. Come on. Yes. You like when somebody... Israel. Huh? Israel. You like that? Yeah, I know you like that. Well, when you come inside, they become chickens. And he like he don't see me. I say right there, he don't come out. He say, you want to out? I stay there.
After this, Paulo Costa stated the following on his YouTube channel. I met Chimaev there, and man, he was scared. The guy stood there and he froze. He froze. I actually was not surprised. As I said before, Cupcake Chechen, Gourmet Chechen is a bully with small guys. Here's what Dana White had to say about the situation.
We've seen footage of Khamzat at the PI kind of stirring things up with Paulo Costa. Have you had any, I mean, we like that fire in him, right? But have you had any conversations with him? Maybe like settle down at the PI?
No. Guys, you know I don't do this. We're in the fight business. This stuff happens, and it's up to us to make sure that they don't fight at the PI. That's our job. So fighters will be fighters, and you know those things are going to happen, and we'll deal with it.
In a recent interview with ESPN, Nate Diaz had this to say about his fight this weekend against Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 279.
I'm the champion of the whole UFC altogether, and I don't give a and what they got me doing right now is they're acting like I called for this fight, which I didn't call for, and I don't want, and didn't want, and still don't want, but I don't give a go fight anybody. But pressure's on him. He better finish me, because he's the next killer in town. You know what I'm saying? Pressure's on me, because I better not get killed by the next killer best in town, because they're saying he's the best in town. If I whip his ass, they're going to say, oh, he wasn't the best in town. But they're not gonna let me go. I asked for 20 fights, 10 fights, 15 fights for the top 5 guys again, like I have for the last 15. Nobody's fought the top 10 guys in the last 15 years but me. Nobody. 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 You know what I'm saying? I'm the greatest fighter to ever stepped into the UFC octagon. And still am, and still planning on being for the next 15 years. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this fight's not even about this guy. It's about making this guy. It's about making this, right? And I'm like, okay, well, you guys aren't gonna let me go because I'm the best fighter here, and you're not gonna let me go unless it's off of somebody. I gotta make somebody for you. Well, all right, you're welcome. Let's make you. You're welcome, UFC. You're welcome Dubai. You're welcome all you in your country. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome.
Martin Vettori has released a statement after his loss to Robert Whittaker at UFC Paris. This game ain't for the faint of heart. We got big shoulder and we don't quit. There is just one way, and that is forward. I promise everyone I'll be back better than ever. Hats off to Whittaker, good execution and good adjustments. Nothing changes, we are going to be champions one day, I promise you that. On a recent episode of the Weighing In podcast, John McCarthy and Josh Thompson had this to say about Robert Whittaker's performance.
He put on a beautiful performance, I thought. very controlled, very regulated. He took the first round to figure out the distance and exactly how he could counter what Vettori was going to come at him with. And then from about halfway through the first round, he just took that fight over. And he took it over based upon fight IQ, understanding, here's where my, strength lies, and here's what he's doing. This is what I can do. And then just setting forth and going after it. Dude, he hit Vettori with some big shots, and he hit him with a ton of volume too. And so, I mean, I give it to Vettori. Super tough as always. He has shown that throughout his career in the UFC. He just doesn't have the full game that he needs to be able to beat Robert Whittaker, and I think that showed in that fight.
Alexander Volkanvski recently uploaded a video to YouTube where he talked about this weekend's fight between Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez at UFC 279. Here's the clip.
Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. So Kevin Holland, we know a bit about him. Daniel Rodriguez, he's a tidy boxer. I know he likes his striking. I remember watching him, his last fight, I don't know if it was against Mike Perry. I've obviously seen a few fights, but one that I can remember. Mike Perry, I think. He has some tidy boxing. Kevin Holland's dangerous.
The way he punches.
And he looked great in his last fight as well. So he's pretty resilient. He's confident.
You really want the smoke? Let's get the smoke.
He knows how to get a finish, and he will go looking for it. So that's why he's always a safe bet. Kevin Holland's a favourite. Yeah, I think that's definitely worth it. You've got Daniel Rodriguez, who's the underdog, but he's tidy. I can see if I had to give Daniel Rodriguez a win, I would go by decision. I think that would be paying half decent purely to get that little bit more with your money, because I don't know if I can see him finishing Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland can be pretty durable, so I would say that would be a pretty good bet. Kevin Holland, I think, can definitely get the finish. He's dangerous, man, and he's unorthodox. He's unpredictable. So they're always good people to bet on for KOs and things like that, just purely because they'll throw some crazy things in there, even submissions. For a guy like him, he'll get someone hurt and he'll go for something as well. I could see it, but I'd probably go with TKO KO for Kevin Holland. So I won't break it down too much because I probably don't know enough about him. I've watched enough to know that anything can happen. If I had to lean towards someone, it probably is Kevin Holland.
Chael Sonnen recently discusses whether Jon Jones should fight Stipe Miocic or Cyril Gane. Here's the clip.
Well, choice is yours. What are you guys gonna do? The choice is yours. Do you want Jon Jones versus Stipe, or do you want Jon Jones versus Cyril Gane? That is the situation that I believe that we're in. Now, the only thing that could hedge against the statement I just said being true is that a deal could be reached between Jon and Stipe, and that's going to be released this week. It's a big deal. It's a big deal how you follow this sport within the time frame of pay-per-views with news that comes out. Now, Dana used to be extremely calculated when he had Media Week to have something to give to the media. The world of social media has thrown off Dana and everybody else because you can't keep a secret.
What do you guys think? Would you like to see Jones face off against Miocic or Gane? Let us know in the comment section below. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.